Hello everybody, my name is Solo. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a game called Tree Chopping Incremental. Now if you guys are wondering, oh hey, why are you on there? What's this game all about? Well, if you guys don't know, there was a game that I played for a while called Pet Star Ultimate, and its dev team was, well, one of the people was called Darted, and Darted just actually put this in the Discord saying, hey at everyone, new game made with and this guy drops today. No time set, but I'll let you know. Here is the game link, and that's what we're looking at here. So yeah, we're gonna test it out. I'm gonna give my actual opinion. As you can see, there's not many active players. That's just kind of the weird reality of not only incremental games, but like different types of games kind of being more prevalent than others. For example, like a bunch of brain rot content right now being like high up in the charts, whereas like actual games are not really as great, you know? Anyway, so we start out here and we have, let's see, yeah, we have like a swinging axe, it looks like, and we go ahead and we just let it hit trees, which is kind of unique in its own terms, because usually a lot of these are like, okay, there's a bunch of stuff that spawns, go pick up the things that have spawned. For this, you can actually like finagle it, like I see, and you can actually like make it so then different things happen. Like for example, you can buy this to make the thing swing faster, which as you can see definitely does swing faster. Not too bad. So if you guys don't know the unfortunate fate of Pet Star Ultimate was discontinued, I believe, I want to say a few months ago, and that was just due to lack of interest. And of course at the time Pet Simulator 99 was still a thing, so it was kind of a uphill battle, and there's a bunch of issues. So yeah, not gonna get into it too much, but I did play it quite a bit. There was a lot of things and a lot of issues I had. For example, them like mid game nerfing some stuff, and I already went on my rant about like FNTD2 doing the same thing with some of its recipes. But yeah, genuinely I did enjoy actually getting to interact with like people who made the game and everything else, and that's why I like actually playing games like these, because games like these or games that have smaller dev teams give you a higher chance of having your like thoughts put on to feedback. For example, if you guys miss it, I actually did get feedback to the person who makes the cartoon like tycoon game that I played, and they said yeah, they're working on putting more stuff, and talked about my criticism of like the Fairly Odd Parents house. And they said that they are working to try to figure out a way to put like the interior to make it better. But very much so, it was one of those things. While I do put out criticism, I think the ones that I criticize the hardest are definitely going to be these like bigger dev teams. Like for example, the reason why I'm so hard on FNTD is because they have had a long time to like deal with some of the issues that they still get in the game. Not only that, like they're actively irritating their player base with some of the stuff that they're doing. I know people are saying, but the macro players, honestly, if your highest priority is dealing with the macro players, I think you might have lost the plot just a little bit. Because here's the problem. No matter what, you're going to have an issue with macro players because of just how Roblox games work. Because with Roblox having, you know, their whole AFK timer basically being centered around someone interacting with the screen, it's not hard to set up a macro to make sure that, you know, that doesn't happen. It's also not hard to make a macro for tower defense. Well, yes, there are some tower defenses that are able to, make it so then you can't do this. Most notably ones that spawn you in different locations each time. It's still very much an issue of, do we want to dedicate all the time to taking out, these people who are macroing, or do we want to take the time to make sure that our game is actually fun? And unfortunately, FNTD is taking the approach that, well, we need to balance how our game works around macroing, right? So now the people who aren't macroing are suffering because of it, because, well, they're too busy dealing with either the macro people or the people who just like blaze through the entirety of the game, right? And so now we had the whole, drama with the actual like changing of how much stuff is, and it's just a mess. It really is a mess, and that it's one of those things where you just wonder what the exact thinking is, to be quite honest with you. And you know dang well that the people who are telling you, oh, well, just get a better team, are the people who already got the Apex before the price change. It's like, okay, thanks. You already have the team for it. I don't have the team. One person wants me to have Withered Freddy, which Withered Freddy is a secret from what I know. So yeah, I've been having a great time when it comes to that particular game. I've taken a break from it, to be honest, because it just irritated me that they decided to triple the price in the middle of the event. Like, it would have been fine if they started the event and said, hey guys, we originally had it set to this, but we decided against it. But yeah, now we have what they left us with, which is literally just kind of a big middle finger to anyone who's not, at the tippy top of their leaderboard. And by the way, somebody's like, it's not pay to win. You do realize Dreadbear is not available to the free-to-play audience, by the way. And from what I know, Dreadbear is actually really, really powerful. So again, apparently that's just me not knowing how to play the game, even though literally seeing multiple people say this is the best way to farm and then sit there with Dreadbear or someone else that requires real money on their team. It's just ridiculous. It really is. Anyway, I am actually liking the whole like rotating stuff on like the axe. I think it's really cool. I think it's kind of a more chill thing. Let's see, can I make the speed faster? I can if I had more money. I do also need to upgrade things like tree value. I think tree value is going to be a lot better, because more tree value means more money for chopping down trees. I'm also going to decrease the spawn time and increase the amount of trees I can have on the plot. That's going to make it easier for me to actually do this. Anyway, I'm going to grind until I hit the next part of the incremental, so I will be back. Alright, so when you get to a certain point in this game, you're literally just doing this, which is you just like, waving through all this stuff. And then eventually you get enough of the logs, and I was wondering why it was giving me logs, to do a rebirth, as you can see here, which will give you 5 rebirth tokens, the ability to get maple wood, and then 25% more cash. Now, I do want to take a look at these rebirth upgrades before we get started here. So if we go to the rebirth upgrades, we have rebirth trees, allows the spawning of rebirth trees, which can give extra rebirth tokens, requires 5, which would be all of the ones we have. We have rebirth cash boost, which increases sell value of trees again. And then you have drop rate. I think honestly the best thing would probably be the cash boost here. So let's just go ahead and rebirth. And then we are going to buy stuff here. And since Let's see how many tokens I have left. I'm just gonna pay for the 2 there. So yeah, we're gonna go back to our plot now. And we should get more money. But our next rebirth requires us to have spruce wood, birch, and maple. And as you can see, we now can get maple trees as well from chopping down trees. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's progress and see if we can hit the next rebirth. All right. So I played this for a few hours. I have some feedback. So I do like the spinning and everything else with the game. I don't like the fact that it does that, where like if you go under stuff, it will like zoom in because the like colliding and everything. That is one thing that kind of bothers me. As someone who has played a lot of incremental games, and I know that this will probably happen in the future, but as of right now, I think the game is a bit bare bones in terms of features. And what I mean by that is the only like incremental part that like parts you have are these 3 like plot screens, right? The axe market, and then the rebirth upgrades down there. Whereas like another incremental game, just throwing them out there, ones I played, like Circle Incremental, has a lot of different like sections to it. So like for example, once I get enough rebirths out, right, eventually I'd go into a new section that would completely reset my progress, but it would give me even more upgrades to go for. And that's what I'm getting at here is, well, it is a good start. I hope they do actually add more sections to it and actually like flesh out the game and not just only go with, hey guys, you have rebirths and then you have the axes. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, only having up to like rebirth 7 give new axes, and then rebirth 3 is where you stop getting any new trees, is not exactly the longevity a lot of people who play incrementals are looking for. Because they'll look at that and go, okay, so basically once I get to 3, like rebirth 3, I'm gonna stop getting, you know, trees, right? I'm gonna stop getting new trees. Then when I get to rebirth 7, I'm gonna stop getting new axes. Then they're gonna ask, okay, what's after that? And then that's when you're kind of just like, well, that's the thing, there's not really much after that. I do think there's some cool mechanics in this, and I'll show them now, which is the fact that I have 7 rebirth tokens, and the only reason I have 7 is because there is a rebirth tree you can get. I think that's pretty neat. I think that's a cool mechanic. But again, eventually you do just kind of hit the end of what's new. And there's not really a new mechanic, so to speak. Like in something like Circle Incremental, when you get high enough, you upgrade your tier, right, of your full-on like incremental, and then it resets everything. Or you get to a certain point and you unlock like the wood, right? And you get to upgrade like wood upgrades and other things like that. You know, that's kind of where I'm getting at with this, is there's a lot of like, there's quite a bit of work that needs to be done, but it is a good like foundation to start out with. I definitely think that they need to definitely flesh out the concept a bit more. I think the mechanic of the like spinning blades is pretty cool. I think that's a neat thing for them to do. It kind of is quite unique. But yeah, definitely I hope they continue to expand this idea a lot more and give it a lot more, you know, uniqueness to it. But other than that, I think it's actually pretty alright. But with that being said, if you guys like the video, as always, hit the like button, comment down below what you guys think of the game, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications so then you guys never miss a video. And as always, I hope you guys have a good day, stay safe out there, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.